chamber. Did you see that? Call 911. Help! Anti-Semite. He wants to turn me into a lampshade. I'm going to sue you.
All right, so we're going to be reviewing Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, or better known as Rabbi Shmuley, on Piers Morgan, and he's going to be doing a debate, I guess you could say. It's not even a debate, but a back and forth with this guy from Iceland who got to know Rabbi Shmuley on a trip to Reykjavik. And the guy recognized him, and Shmuley pulled out his phone and made a whole scene out of it. You know, Rabbi Shmuley, I think, has good intentions. I think he means well when he supports Israel and stands up for Jews and all that, but it's just so hard. It's so cringy, and he just labels everyone an anti-Semite, and it's gotten to a point where so many Jews are really not down to have him represent us because he makes such a laughing stock. It's so easy to make fun of him. He kind of asks for it. He asks to be bullied. I hate to say it, but he acts in such a way that, like, if he was in high school with me, he'd get bullied terribly. If he was in college, it's just his behavior, just making a scene. He acts like a Karen. He acts like a Rabbi Karen. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. Follow me at Rafi the Realtor for all of your South Florida real estate needs, and you can support the channel via the Buy Me a Coffee link in the pinned comment or description. Let's get into it.
I am. How'd you know that?
I'm a huge fan, man.
That's amazing.
Can I just get
Can you wait 1 second? Because I'm going to call with an attorney. Just 1 second.
Okay, can I just, I'm just on a video, like, already. Can I just do a shout out or something? Can I just?
But you gotta give me a second.
Okay, we're just walking by. We're just.
What do you want?
No, it's just, if I can get you in,
I can do a selfie, but
get you in a frame?
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yep.
Okay. Fuck Israel.
Okay.
Fuck Israel, man. Welcome to Iceland.
I'm going to come to the way that Rabbi Shmuley responded to this in a moment. But just on the face of it, you know, going up to somebody in the street and saying, fuck their country in the way that you did, do you accept that was a very provocative thing to do?
Of course. That was the point.
And what was the exact point you wanted to make?
To show a supporter of genocide and his son that's actively participating in said genocide that us Icelanders don't take kindly to that.
Right, but I mean, let me give you an analogy, which is I was a big protester against the Iraq War, for example, when my British government went to war in Iraq in 2003. But if somebody had come up to me in the street, regardless of what side of the debate they were on, and said, fuck Britain, I'd have been extremely angry with that person because they were basically telling an entire country, fuck you, rather than individuals like a prime minister, a government, or so on. Do you accept that by just saying, fuck Israel, you were taking a blanket offensive term, which almost every Israeli I know would be offended by?
Absolutely, because the current state of Israel is an unjust state and internationally condemned in International Court of Justice that they are actively participating in war crimes and genocide. And it has nothing to do with an individual or anything. I know plenty of Israelis are against this current state of affairs. So, yes, of course, it's a generalization, but yes, that's how it works. If that's the current state of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think the guy probably would have no idea who I was if I was in Iceland, but if he did and he said that, I would have a conversation with him. I wouldn't start smearing him an anti-Semite, even if he is one. I would try to better understand what his talking point is and hope to educate him. Now, if he was obviously really nasty to me and confrontational, then that's a different story, But I would try to avoid the physical if I can. What Rabbi Shmuley does is he completely loses his mind, starts pointing fingers, wants the cops to get involved. Nobody cares. He just looks like a crybaby. It just doesn't work. It's not effective. I don't really see why he doesn't understand that. He just doesn't have the social awareness to pick up on that. Maybe it's an age thing. Although there are plenty of people his age that do get that sort of thing. So I'm not really sure where that is not connecting.
Rabbi Shmuley accused you of hating Jews, of being.
You're having me on your show again. Piers, are you seriously inverting this story from a Jewish victim of a hate crime who could not have been more pleasant to an Icelandic man who came over and admits that he lied, fraudulently misled me and said, I'm a huge fan. I said, I'm on the phone with an attorney. We pay for hours by the attorney. I said, give me 5 minutes. And he said, but I'm leaving now and I have to do it now. And he takes the camera and
he's expecting people to feel sorry for him, and they're just not going to. I think he has to learn how to troll back. He has to learn how to throw that same energy back. But instead, he lets him get one over on him. He lets him bully him, and then he cries about it. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that in school. Nobody likes it out of school. It's just something he has to understand. Like nobody, unfortunately, no one's coming to his rescue here. No one's going to say, "Oh, poor baby." A lot of people are just going to laugh at you, Rabbi. It's just the reality.
F Israel. I'm not going to use his vulgarity because I'm not a vulgar person. He attacked me in a hate crime. And the fact that he now admits that he dragged his poor girlfriend into this shows he's also a misogynist. So we have a self-admitted liar who posted the video of
Dragging his girlfriend into it, misogynist. Like, where are you getting this from? Like, I don't even, it's funny because I don't want to be against you here, but you look really silly. Objectively speaking, I'm definitely not on this Iceland guy's team, but it's really hard to have you support us as a spokesperson because you make an ass of yourself. I hate to say it, but I'm not the only one.
Of his fraudulence and his lie. All the anti-Semites have to always use deceptive tactics. He then sparked a wave of harassment and attacks against me and my children and my 1-year-old grandson that hit probably 30 or 40. They were all documented, have been watched by tens of millions of people the world over. Now, I'm going to prove in the space of a single question that Samuel, who has a biblical Hebrew name, interestingly enough, it's my name, Shmuley is Samuel in Hebrew, that he could not care less about a false genocide in Gaza. That's not happening. There were 400,000 Arabs in Gaza when Israel took over in 1967 through a defensive war. There are now 2 million. How does a genocide increase a population 5 times their amount before? It's fraudulent. But I'm going to prove that you couldn't care less, Samuel, about Arabs. Samuel, how many Palestinian refugees since the 2008 civil war in Syria and October 7th and what you call it, how many how many Palestinian Arab Muslim refugees has your country, which only has 350,000 people, in a country 5 times the size of Israel, taken in as migrants, as refugees, to give them safety? How many?
Are you going to do your same little point you made in the Facebook video before?
I am asking you, since you say it's a genocide, and you want to. It's not that you hate. It's not that you hate Jews. You care about Palestinian life. Your country is empty. People can drive it from end to end. There's only 350,000 people.
What does this have to do with anything?
Wait, no. And the answer, he won't answer it. The answer is because he doesn't know.
Let him answer. Let him answer. Let him answer.
Go ahead.
Rabbi Shmuley, you've asked a question. Let him answer.
He won't answer. He's saying it has nothing to do. Go ahead.
Well, let him answer. Let him answer.
Yes.
Let him answer.
Because your opinion of whether a lot or a few came in will either be negative or positive, and that's up to you. I don't care what your opinion is.
Pierce, he answered. He doesn't know.
No.
Pierce, he spoke for 10 minutes.
Let him answer the question. Let him answer the question.
It's my turn to speak.
Let him answer.
You gave him 10 minutes. He won't.
No, Rabbi Shmuley, I will decide who speaks. Let him answer properly. Then you can respond.
Okay, how many
why
has
should
your
they
country
feel
taken
the
in
need
as migrants from a
to
genocide?
leave their homeland? Why should they feel the need to leave their homeland because of your war of aggression and expansion in Israel? You answer that question.
May I now continue, please, first? Pierce, may I now continue, please? Or you're going to get... Okay, now, Iceland has taken in 200 Palestinians over the past nearly 20 years, 200. They could fit into this building. Iceland only has 2,000 Muslim residents in the entire country. Iceland tried to ban circumcision It would have made it a criminal act. And it was seen not as anti-Semitic. It was seen as Iceland not wanting Muslims because Muslims are even much more insistent. Iceland doesn't allow Muslims. We were here for the past 2 weeks. We saw 5 black faces in the entire country. It is, everyone knows, it is statistically the most white homogenous country on earth. So it has, for Iceland to start virtue signaling, we allow no blacks, no Muslims, no Palestinian refugees, no Islamic refugees. White people alone are allowed into this country, but we're going to choose one group to demonize, harass on the streets, attack them, and call them baby killers.
Out of interest,
wait,
okay,
Rabbi
Shmuley,
I have one final point.
I have a question for you. I have a question.
I have one final point. I am not Israeli. I'm an American. My country protected Samuel's country for 50 years. They don't have an army. They don't spend. No, I do not. You're a liar. I do not have Israeli citizenship. You are an absolute fraudulent liar. I'm an American citizen. You invented that in the same way you lied that you're a fan of mine. I'm an American. My country spent 50 years defending your country. And Piers, let me tell you one final thing. You're a British citizen, Piers. Your country, Piers, your country illegally invaded Iceland in April of 1941 because they feared that the Germans would take over Iceland.
That's tough is the rabbi is a lot more educated than the two of them are. He knows a lot. He knows a lot about history. I've always known that about him. But his delivery, he's not getting through to this Icelandic dude because of his the way he socializes it, just his social cues. And it's hard for me to explain it, but I just know that if I were debating this Icelandic guy, I'd have a much easier time getting through to him because I'd also know how to kind of bounce off of his jabs. Like I'd know how to like throw things off the shoulder and make jokes back at him. So that would kind of help him come back down to earth, and I'd be able to get through to him a little more easily. Now, I don't care if he liked me or not, agreed with me or not, but the viewers would get more of this natural back and forth. But here, it's very hard for the two of them to get their points across.
Your country did that. Your great prime minister, who you praise as the greatest statesman of the 20th century.
1940.
And then finally, now 1 second, and it was April 1941. Now, Piers,
it was 1940.
Piers, fine, 1940. Piers, finally. Piers, Winston Churchill, who I, like you, consider the greatest statesman of the 20th century, killed 1 million German and Italian children in the Second World War. Now, let's say you as a celebrity come to Iceland and they walk over to you, Samuel, and says, Piers, I am such a fan. Can I take a picture? And he looks you in the face and said, you effing baby killer, effing Britain, you killed 1 million German children. What you would think is 2 things. A, this is how you treat your guests when 10% of your entire economy is dependent on...
All right, let me respond. Let me respond. All right,
and Churchill killed 1 million children. Why?
The rabbi makes an excellent point. The rabbi makes an excellent point. All these countries are pointing the finger at Israel when Israel has the lowest civilian to terrorist ratio in the history of not just modern warfare, probably historical warfare. Definitely 1 to 1, 1 to 2. And yet this Icelandic guy sitting here making a whole thing about Israel. England killed so many more people. The United States during World War II killed so many more. The Arab on Arab civil wars killed hundreds of thousands to millions of people. No one gets pointed the finger at for genocide, but yet everyone's making a whole ruckus about it. And it's not that hard to figure it out, by the way. It's just how the media spins things. I've covered this on my show for years. It's not that hard to figure out. It's not that hard to decipher, really. And when you really have a head-to-head conversation with guys like this Icelandic guy, and you know your stuff, you're going to stump him. He's not going to know what to say. He might still have his cognitive dissonance and stick to his point because he doesn't want to change his opinion, but he's not going to have much of a response. It's very clear that the rabbi is a lot more knowledgeable on history than this guy is. So let's continue.
Britain baby killers.
I need to speak. I want to focus specifically on this incident that everyone's been talking about and has watched. And my point to you, Rabbi Shmuley, is not that you shouldn't have been offended, if not outraged by what happened here. It's quite clear Samuel did go up, pretend to be a fan, and then said, fuck Israel, on camera, so that he could have a moment at your expense. I completely agree with you. I would have probably reacted badly too if someone did that to me. They have done it to me over the years, often completely erroneously because they think my position on something is not what it is. But anyway, that's the fate of being in public life. I have two thoughts about what you've been saying and what I've seen. One is, if Iceland's that bad, why have you gone there on vacation? And secondly, I would say to you that your behavior in the 10 minutes that followed Samuel saying fuck Israel was outrageous, because there was a young woman clearly very intimidated by what you were doing, didn't want to be on camera. She had nothing to do with this. She didn't say anything to you. And I thought your continued harassment with her there looking intimidated and scared, and as Samuel has said, close to tears, I think was reprehensible. Two things can be true at the same time.
Pierce, I'm amazed that you would invert this, that a victim of an anti-Semitic hate crime is now the harasser. This is always a story with the Jews. The Jews.
You're an eternal victim.
It wasn't an anti-Semitic hate crime.
No, I am allowed.
Where was the anti-Semitic?
It's not, though. That's the thing, is it's not. You can't automatically assume that this Icelandic guy hates all Jews because he hates Israel and certain action. This is the reality. You have to split the two. Now, I happen to think that when people think of Israel, if they don't like Israel, Jews are on their mind, right? I do think to a large extent the two coincide. But you can't automatically you start yelling the anti-Semite thing, because now you become this crybaby. And now you're just, it's easy to bully you. You just become this weak little, and so it's just it's not the smart play. I don't know why people are still doing this. I don't understand it.
I am allowed. You asked me.
Where was the anti-Semitic hate crime? Where was the anti-Semitic?
Let me respond. October 7th, Israel is attacked. Women have their breasts cut off. Terrorists are playing volleyball with their breasts, shooting them in their vagina.
Fine. Where was he anti-Semitic? Tell me.
And when Israel protects itself, of course, Israel's the aggressor and guilty of genocide.
Fine.
A rabbi
Where
is
was he
walking with his 1 year.
anti-Semitic?
A rabbi is walking with his
wasting our time
1-year-old
here.
grandson and with his 4 children. A man comes and lies and says, "I'm a fan." He says, "F Israel." I won't say the word because I'm not
I've
vulgar.
accepted that.
His girlfriend,
Where was he anti-Semitic?
His girlfriend stood with him the entire time. You should be pointing a finger at a misogynist who admits that he did not
Where
even
was
tell
he
his
anti-Semitic?
girlfriend what we going over
Fine,
to an American Jewish citizen in middle of the street and harassing and making them feel very unsafe and attacking them when they're alone and don't know.
Rabbi, it's just cringy. I'm sorry, it's not working. It ain't working. It's not just that you're an American Jew. Your whole MO is standing up for Israel. You can't deny you're not just an American Jew. You're a face. You're a very well-known face for Israel, which is great. Good for you. I'm happy. So am I. But you have to expect that that's a possibility, that anywhere you go, people might recognize you and they're going to connect you with Israel. That's obvious. So I don't know why you're acting shocked by that. Like, no one should ever bother me. I hate to break it to you, man. That's not how the world works. I'm not condoning what this guy did, obviously, but you kind of have to understand that if someone recognizes me in some random country and starts giving me shit, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm not shocked. I'm kind of surprised he recognizes me. I don't have a huge platform yet, but like, it's a possibility, right? You have to come to terms. Even if I didn't have a platform and I'm speaking Hebrew somewhere and someone hates Israel or hates Jews and they hear me, that's the world we live in. Instead of crying about it, be proud of it. It's like, or just don't travel. I mean, there's options.
And saying F Israel to your face.
Fine.
That is Israel accusing Israel, the only Jewish state in the world, of a genocide. When this country, this past Sunday, marched for LGBTQ rights, where Hamas takes gay men and castrates them, where Hamas takes teenage girls and has their brothers kill them for having a girlfriend.
Was it by coincidence that you went into the only gay bar in Iceland?
Hamas has not had.
What was that, 1 or 2 days after this?
Where Hamas has not had elections 2006, where Mahmoud
We
Abbas
only gave
himself,
our
the head of the
Iceland to get
Palestinians,
kicked out.
is
Good for you, man.
afraid to go to Gaza, and has not been there since
You're
2006
a
because the
perpetual
leader of the
victim.
Palestinians would
You're
be
a
killed.
perpetual victim with your
You
IDF son
want
chasing
Jews,
down
you want
innocent
Jews
women in
to
the street.
die
That
without
shows the
defense. Now,
nature of your warfare, your war of
Wait a
expansion.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Rabbi Shmuley, sorry.
All right, we're going to finish it here because I already know how this sort of video goes. It gets repetitive. They're just going to keep repeating themselves. So here's the thing. I think Rabbi Shmuley has a vast amount of knowledge. I don't think he's stupid in the sense of his really library of information. He's well versed in history, he's well versed in religion. He's not stupid. He's an intellectual person, but socially really missing the boat, unfortunately. And so I don't really think he should be a major spokesperson for the Jewish people. And as much as I hate to say it, because I do think he means well, and he's loud and proud, and again, his heart's in the right place, but he just brings a lot of bad vibes. People on the Jewish side don't want him to be the spokesperson. Non-Jews make a mockery of him. They laugh at him, and he kind of asks for it, unfortunately. So, if you're listening to this, Rabbi, we'd love to have a conversation with you so we can maybe go over these things, because I like the things you say. A lot of that you have a lot of good information, but it's the delivery and this complaining, the whining and complaining doesn't help. It really doesn't help. It's the people eat it up. They love it. They want more of it. People want to see you on platforms. They want to record you in the street because they know that they can get a reaction out of you, and you're giving it to them. That's the problem. With that said, leave your comments, leave your thoughts. Do you agree with me or not on my views here about the rabbi? Do you agree with the Icelandic guy? Do you agree with the rabbi on the points of whether it's a genocide or not? Clearly, it isn't, but people still seem to think it is. Leave your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Follow me at Rafi the Realtor for all of your real estate needs in Miami and the greater South Florida area. And you can support the channel by going to the Buy Me a Coffee link in the pinned comment or description. Thank you as always for watching. Until next time. Peace.